over to the, we have you on the YouTube, Anna. Accept that. There you go.
Let me accept you.
Look at us doing a computer thing here.
I know. We sure are. I felt like cooking today because I needed a recipe for this week's Substack.
Yeah.
And I had an idea, Vinny, because today this is coming out Halloween Day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even though we're going to talk about more evergreen stuff, I figure today's the day. The questions are already rolling in. What am I going to do for Thanksgiving / the holidays? The gauntlet is upon us.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'll cook some this recipe. Here's what I'm doing is a beef and mushroom stew with a jar of the Stewtanesca sauce. I'm going to call it Stewtanesca.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, it's a portmanteau.
Speaking of Halloween, this is coming out on Halloween. I'm putting this little video out, Anna, on Saturday. You want to see it? I just recorded it today.
Yeah, I do.
It's going to be on my Instagram.
Starting with the Villa Cappelli, by the way.
By the way, folks, people have been really paying attention to my my Instagram. So since people are paying attention, I'm doing more with it. So, Anna, pay attention to the screen here. I'm gonna pull.
Okay, good. Then I'll lean right over the onions I'm cutting to watch.
Yeah, get your boobies in that onion. You have. What do you want?
Well, now you did it too small.
You want candy? You also want a sign of type 2 diabetes? How about some sleep apnea? How about some fatty liver disease? You want that too? That's what I thought. Candy this year. Now get out of here. So
you put the neighborhood kids up to that?
Yeah. So I got the neighborhood kids, and you can't really see it. And basically what happens is they come to the house trick-or-treating, and Gran Torino walks out, and I'm yelling at him, have him do push-ups. Right. And the expressions, and I know you couldn't really see it in the camera, but
it was kind of washed out. But
yeah, it was very washed out.
They're looking at Gran Torino like, who's this guy?
Yeah. I love the part when I said, "What do you want?" The kid goes, "Candy." It was almost like he was an actor.
They do want their candy. I don't know if you're going to stop all the candy on actual Halloween, Vinny.
Well, the funny part is when they were leaving, the youngest one, who I don't know if he really understood that we were doing a video.
No, probably not.
He turned to him. He goes, "Can we have the candy now?"
Oh. And did you give him a nut butter and send him on his way?
No, I couldn't. I didn't have the heart. I said, you know what? Stop by on Halloween, and Uncle Vinny will have something for you.
I was going to say, you better have something for him.
Yeah, I got to go out and get something for this kid because, I got him to do this video. But look, folks, I'm not a big believer in handing out candy to kids. I mean, candy should be a treat for kids if they want it. But, I just did a Friday show. It's going to be out in a few weeks with these two very newly minted doctors, Dr. Laura Buchanan and her husband, Dr. Matthew Culkin, and their husband and wife. And they're looking at what's going on, and they don't want to do the sick care thing right out of college. They're working with Trocalazian and Verta Health and stuff. I'm glad to see that some of these kids are coming right out of college and looking at this sick care that we're doing and going, enough is enough. Right. So
that's a huge relief to know that there are some new ones coming out of med school who are all about it.
We need more of that. And,
we do.
Look, I'm glad it's a good start, and I'm very happy for these two young people, but we need more of that. Now, I see you chopping up a lot of stuff over there. Tell me.
I chopped up my mirepoix, and I'll try to raise the computer to show you what's inside the Le Creuset, but I'm heating up the Villa Cappelli, getting it nice and hot. I did about 2 tablespoons in there. Now, this onion happens to be a very gigantic onion, but whatever. Put it all in, I say. Put it all in. The Stewtanesca has onion in it, but now this is just being extra oniony beef stew. I got about 1.4 pounds of some stew meat there. This happens to be grass-fed because they had it at not a crazy price, but I would have gotten regular if they had regular. I got the baby Bella mushrooms. You can use cremini. You can use white button mushrooms. That's about a pint. I wash them and then I cut off the bottoms, or sometimes I'll just take out the stem because the stem gets kind of rough,
Right.
So the mirepoix's got the onion, the carrot, the celery. We're going to put that in, and while we season this meat,
Now, Anna, from my
Actually, I feel like I
that
should
looks
sear
like,
the meat first.
wait, hang
Let
on,
me sear
Anna.
the meat first. Yeah.
But you have a lot of, it looks like onions there. How many onions? Is that two
That
onions?
was just one gigantic onion.
Okay, that's, you see, I'm a
I
big
mean,
onion fan. I would have
yeah,
eaten
yeah,
it
me
like an
too. I
apple.
like the onions
Yeah.
too. But actually I'm gonna sear the meat first. I misspoke.
Okay. So you're
I'll
going to
have this
sear
all
it. Where
typed
are
up
you
in the
going to
proper
sear it?
order.
You going to, how are you going to sear that, Anna?
Well, what I'm gonna do is cover it with lots of salt and pepper and garlic powder and onion powder. And
Okay.
then I'm already heating this pan up, so you'll hear it sizzle in just a second. Let me get this
Mm-hmm.
thing. I've got my Redmond real salt.
Well, that meat looks delicious.
Oh yeah, look at that. Somebody already cubed it at the grocery store for me. I'm trying not to touch these things with dirty hands. Let me get a little spoon for my garlic powder, my onion powder. I want, it's stew season, it's soup season, it's all
Oh, yeah,
that.
absolutely.
So we want to make sure everybody feels that's about half a teaspoon of garlic powder. Actually, that's the onion powder. Misspoke. So we're just,
Only
oh
if
my
you
God,
knew what she was talking
spilled
about
it.
so well.
I just spilled it.
Where did you spill it? Not on the
I
meat.
spilled onion powder. That's all right. I'll fix it.
Okay.
Just try not to get my hands all gloppy on this stuff.
I
You know what
see
I
what's
mean?
going on here.
Gloppy jalopy.
And she's
See,
really massaging it in.
do you see how we're not coating this with any flour? We're not putting any cornstarch or flour or anything like that. The
Right.
seasoning is enough. It's enough on there. You don't need all the okay, this oil is smoking. So let's just turn that down. These are gonna sizzle a lot.
Oh,
Ready?
yeah. Go on.
Do
Go
you
on.
see how it's smoking a little bit?
Yeah, I do. I can't really hear the sizzle. It's funny how those mics aren't picking it up. Those ear pods aren't
Okay.
picking it up.
All right.
But I can hear you well. So that's all that
Great.
really matters.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna turn you up a little bit.
And then
Let
I'll
me
get the
turn you up.
tongs going.
There we go. Turned you up a
Did
bit.
you get a surprise in the mail for me yet?
No, would that be the powders?
No, do you need powders? I sent you something else.
No, I have powders. I'm good for a minute.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you when I'm out. I'm just going to buy it. I hate that you said.
No, you don't have to buy it.
Yeah, no, I'm going to buy it.
You get the friend discount.
You and Villa Cappelli. I need to call. I need to get on the phone with Villa Cappelli and get. I might as well do that ad right now. Villa Cappelli, folks. That's what Anna has in that pan. That's what's sizzling over there. Oh, look, she's showing us right down into that pan.
I can't hold
right
a
now.
laptop. And
Yeah.
here I am.
Yeah. Well, you are talented. Holding that laptop with one hand and searing that meat up looks really good. Folks, Villa Cappelli, that's what Anna's using over there. This olive oil is unbelievable. You really need to get it because we can lie about olive oil in the great United States. You can cut it up to 40% with seed oils, which is very unhealthy, and still call it extra virgin olive oil. It drives me nuts. Villa Cappelli is the longest running sponsor of this show, and that's for a reason. They really do a great job. So you can go get your Villa Cappelli. There's a couple of ways to save money. If you spend over $125 after the Vinnie discount, you get free shipping. So spend about $140. They'll take some money off. You'll get the 10% off by putting in promo code Vinnie, and then you'll get the free shipping for being over $125. That'll kick in. Bada bing, bada boom. You will love it.
If you can get your meat a little seared, like see how it's got that brown on it?
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're going for with this. You're not going to sear all the sides of the cube meat, but try to get that going without overcooking it.
Yeah.
It's about 3 to 4 minutes. And then I'm going to take it off and start cooking the onions. I'm not going to drain this, Vinnie, because I like having the meat grease in there.
Yeah, you want to have it all together.
And that's kind of where things differ. Because somebody was asking me about the taco seasoning. And I said, you know how you cook your taco meat? And that used to say on the back of the Ortega or the El Paso, it would say drain the meat, then add the seasoning and a quarter of a cup of water. And it was like, well, if you didn't drain the meat, you wouldn't need to add any liquid to it.
Right. And
but people are so fat phobic, meaning they're afraid to eat fat. I mean, fat phobic has a double entendre, obviously, but so I put a little more Villa Cappelli in there, and now I'm going to put this giant onion's worth, about 1 carrot, and that's a carrot from the farm stand, because when I was peeling that thing, it smelled like dirt. It smelled so good.
Yeah.
And a couple of celery stalks. So we're just going to get this stuff nice and soft, and then I'm going to add the mushrooms, and we're going to season it, throw the beef back in there with the jar of puttanesca. I'm going to see if it needs any liquid after that. It might need a little chicken broth, or you can just add plain water, and then it will cook and you have soup.
The vegetables make some water, right?
Yeah, it will. And the mushrooms will give off water. So let's just get these guys going here. And then I'll do the double holding. So, Vinny, today's Halloween.
Yeah.
It's going to be Thanksgiving in approximately 4 Thursdays.
It's coming fast, Anna. It's coming fast. It's coming too fast.
Too fast.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, people, I did a little video on this today. If you want to go see this on Instagram, I talk about it, I think on Thursday or Friday of last week. Go check it out on my Vinnie Tortorich Instagram.
What do you talk about?
Video. I show one of the ads on television, the pizza ad that they bring it off football games now. And I was thinking about pizza because this wonderful woman, Jen, who has lost some weight. She's on my Twitter. I've had her on the Saturday show, and Jen is doing great. Her A1Cs are coming down. She's just looking wonderful.
Great.
A lot of weight to lose. And she said, man, the other day, she just had one slice of pizza, and that was enough. Look, when you're addicted to carbs, that was enough to throw her off of her game.
Yep, I bet.
Look, people go, oh, come on, a piece of pizza. It threw Jen off of her game. Sorry, that's what happened.
And by the way, kudos to her to being in touch with it. You know what I mean?
And I said, this happens to so many people because I hear it on the consults all the time. That was one of the biggest problems during the pandemic. People say, oh, we're home, it's stressful, the family, they told us to, shelter in place. And of course, we were buying a lot of ice cream because we didn't want the kids to be miserable, and on and on and on. Of course, we started eating the ice cream, and then it became Doritos and cookies. And, I get it. But folks, the pandemic is in the rear view mirror. Sorry. We need a new.
We got to move past it, guys.
Got to move past. And look, I give Jen a lot of credit for noticing her problem. And that's why I have that Carlos Santana song on. It's like, come on, I want her to win again,
Right.
But when I think about these people, I don't know these people, right?
Right.
But I don't have friends in the real world, but I do have these people, and I worry about them.
Right.
Once I know who they are, I stop worrying about them. They call me crazy,
course.
Right? And I'm like, God, I don't want Jen to go back. She's lost 60, 70 pounds, wherever she's lost. I want.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I need her to win. I need her as much as she needs me. Come on, Jen.
I got to tell you something, Vinny.
Yeah.
When we started this podcast, I was 38, going on 39, and now I'm 49, going on 50. And, when you're in your 30s and maybe genetically you're not predisposed to too much at such a young age, you can kind of skate by with stuff,
Right.
And then I've noticed that now being in perimenopause and probably in the phase right before menopause, being that I'm pushing 50, that there's no turning back. Like I knew years ago there was no turning back, but there's no even cheating. There's no piece of pizza is what I'm saying.
Right.
Because I feel like I've really got to stay on top of it. Now, I have noticed, do you remember 11 years ago when you talked about how you went back to Donaldsonville and everybody's I'm on this medication and that medication, some people on 4, 5, 6 medications?
Those same people now, because I've kept up, some of them are on 10 and 12, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, this is what I'm getting to. So my friend group, where we're all about the same age, I have got one person in particular who is really in dire straits with her health, and a lot of stuff is coming home to roost, and it scares the crap out of me. And I don't know where we're all going to be in 10 years. And I don't like this feeling. So this is where I say why you and I do care so much about, we want everyone to succeed. We want people to know this information. We want people to feel empowered to do this. And so, I just think it's so interesting because I remember you telling the story and I remember being, what? That's crazy. All those medications, but that was coming from a place of a woman in her 30s,
Right.
And now I'm seeing everybody turning 50 and getting on this, that, and the other thing. And it's scary. I'm scared for my friend. I'm worried for her.
And look, like I was talking about with these two young doctors, oh, by the way, Jen's last name, she was on a Saturday show. You can go back and look. Her name is Jen Mendyka. I just figured it out. I knew it was a funny name that I had to figure out. Jen Mendyka. You go back and listen to that Saturday show. But yeah, look, I mean, I talk to people now. I thought it was amazing when they were on 5 and 6 medications. Now it's 10 and 12. And like I said, I was talking to these two young doctors tonight, and this sick care, now this protocol, just keep handing it out like it's candy. I mean, Serena and I were talking last night, we were watching murder porn together. It was a 2020, that kind of thing. And, the wrong guy accused. And the
murder porn.
Every commercial was, ask your doctor. Ask your doctor about this.
Every commercial.
Ask your doctor. They've conditioned an entire country to go tell your doctor, and doctors don't have more. You know how we used to say doctors have 15 minutes? They're now telling me, no, we have 7 minutes. 15 minutes. Yeah. Now you have less time unless you go to get some concierge doctor, or you get one of these Trochalasians or Brian Linsky's or any of these people who are not doing sick care. They're doing health care, but you have to pay for that. And insurance doesn't cover that, right?
Yep.
And the people who are going to be hurt the worst are the people with the least money. It's kind of the thing that's going on right now with the gas crisis, right? Gas in California, I know it's like, twice I've been there, it's close to $7, right? Yeah. It's not quite as, here I'm noticing I'm paying $3.50 a gallon right now here.
Right.
So that's a lot for here, and $7 is a lot for there. And, I'm not hurt by it. I don't have to drive to work every day. I just have to walk downstairs.
Right.
It hurts when you go to the gas station and you fill up, and it's, here it's $65, $70. Back in LA, it's well over 100. A couple of times the pump stopped. When it gets to 100, it just stops. It stops you from.
Yeah, it's like, you're not really buying that much gas, are you? And you're like, yeah, I am.
Yeah, and then you got to start it over again, put your credit card back in and get more. And I'm looking at that going, okay, we're empty nesters. We're not rich, but I can afford a tank of gas when I'm in California. I don't like it.
Right.
I couldn't imagine living there right now and still training people and having to fill up 3 and 4 times a week to get to people.
Well, you'd have to raise your prices, which is what a lot of people are having to do. Like, a friend of mine is HVAC guy, another friend of mine is a contractor. They're all having to raise their prices because the gas to drive to jobs is like so crazy expensive.
That's happening here. And people are, why is food so expensive? Because
oh my God,
you have to get the food to the grocery store. That the price gets handed down. So the people who can afford healthcare the least is going to pay the most with their health.
Yep.
It's just very, very sad. And
really I don't
like the way things are going. I mean, I've been talking about this since this podcast came out. I will keep saying it. Yes, is one of the Vinnie-isms. We will financially break under the weight of our own weight. That's right. Where we headed. There's no two ways about it. What are you doing there, Anna? That's
okay. So I just put some salt and pepper on the vegetables. They're pretty soft right now. And I'm doing this very messily, but I just chopped up the baby Bella mushrooms while you were talking. And I'm putting those in, and I put some fresh oregano and fresh thyme. You can use dried. And I'm mixing these mushrooms. It's kind of, I think because it's really dry right here right now, it's not giving up as much liquid as I would like. So I'm actually going to pour some water in here because I'm out of broth. Yeah. But what I'm going to also do is reserve these juices that are coming off the beef and make sure I pour that all back in along with the jar of Stewtanesca. Now we're making a stew. We're not making a soup, so it can be thicker. And you don't want too much liquid in there because we don't use any flour or cornstarch to thicken our stew. It just is going to be thick because we don't add as much liquid to it.
Now, so Ed, if you weren't cooking this for the show, would you do the Italian thing and cook it down a bit?
What's that?
If you weren't cooking this for the show and you were just doing it Italian style, would you have it on a simmer and cook it down for a longer period?
Oh, I'm not going to finish this while we're talking.
Okay. Right.
It's gonna, because that you want that beef to get really soft. You can also pre-cook this and do it in the slow cooker and then leave it overnight or leave it in the morning and then come back and eat it. I'm gonna check this. Here's the other thing. pro tip, grass-fed beef doesn't have as much marbled fat on it, so it's going to cook faster. So I'm actually going to check this stew after 1 hour. If it's not pork tender, I'm going to check it after 90 minutes, and then I'm going to check it after 2 hours. I'm going to just keep checking it because I've got to give you guys the correct cooking time on the recipe.
Yeah, got it.
So this is, but I want the veggies to be nice and soft before we even put in the beef and the liquid. Actually, I think we're doing okay here. Here, let me see if I can get the time. Time for the angle. Time for the angle.
Oh, look at that.
Those are the nice veggies. We got the mirepoix, mushrooms, thyme, oregano, salt, and pepper. Very easy.
Yeah. And
very
easy. Say, I'm very forgetful. I can't remember everything. Let's say I wanted to find this recipe. Where can I find it?
You can go to annavocino.substack.com. Why there and not annavocino.com?
I have no idea.
Because Substack is a newsletter platform. It's almost like what blogging used to be. And I have started posting all my new stuff there because it also allows me to enact a paywall. And the paywall helps me get groceries. I'll be honest with you. That's why I did the paywall, to help offset the cost of groceries for all the recipe development. But I post about 95% of the recipes there free. Then there's a few behind the paywall. So this one will be a free one for the people to make the stew. And if you have Eat Happy, the first Eat Happy, this is loosely based on my beef and portobello stew recipe. But like I said, we're adding we lost him. We're adding the puttanesca sauce, so it's a Stewtanesca. Oh, I see a hat. Oh, speaking of hats, Vinny, we got to talk about the hats on the site.
Oh, we will.
Oh, we will. Where did he go? He's getting something.
Yeah.
I'm not going to actually add any more liquid to this. I think it's plenty good. I'm gonna put that in the recipe, you guys, that you can add a little chicken broth optional. So let me mix in these beef pieces. Oh, smells so good in here. It just smells like savory fall and winter, delicious stew. And you do not need flour or cornstarch. All right, here we go. Oh, wait, here's my trick. If you can't open your...
She's got a trick.
I have a trick.
I thought she was going to go get her.
This works every time. I'm turning tricks, Vinny.
Yeah.
Here's what I do. Just tap the edge of the lid.
I thought everybody did that trick.
Oh, my God.
Which one do you have there, Anna?
This is the puttanesca.
Oh, look
at that.
Yeah.
The color. We've got the Villa Cappelli olive oil in there.
I'm getting
a little capers, a little
right
olives.
Now. Like I want to eat it.
Yeah, it smells heavenly. This one is, if I had to pick a favorite, it's this one.
That's yours.
This is the one though that, as you know, we have to sample it in the stores because people don't know when they don't understand, and then when they taste it, they're like, oh,
yeah.
It has a little bit of red pepper flake for just a little warmth. It's not spicy at all. But there we go.
Look at that. This comes out so nicely.
I could do a second jar. I'll be honest with you.
I was going to ask, is that going to work?
Well, if I was going for more of a chunky soup, I might do a second jar, but let me see.
What if you put, I don't know, maybe a half a jar?
I might do that. Let me turn this down.
See, Serena hates when I come in the kitchen. I start, standing over.
I know.
Cooking.
Oh, I'm posting a video of Lauren trying to put frosting on the pumpkin bars because it's just ridiculous. And I think that, do you guys pretend to be like so ignorant that we'll take over and just do it? Is that what it is?
No, I try. Like I'm really trying, which makes me look more ignorant. I'm actually pretty good in the kitchen though.
No, I kind of like this.
I wouldn't know.
I'm going to show.
I wouldn't know how to do frosting. I mean, I figured it out. I mean, I built a boat.
Yeah, I think you'd be fine. Looks pretty darn good, right?
I didn't really build a boat. Joey Schott built a boat.
You were just there.
Yeah,
so
I'm not done with it yet.
Thanksgiving, Vinny. I'm going to cover this.
Oh, let me say this while you're looking for your cover.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is the 300th day of the year, and one of my New Year's resolutions.
Oh, yes.
Was to do at least 1 hour of aerobics per day. As of today, the 299th day of the year, that's where I got up to look at. I'm at 350 hours and 15 minutes. So
you're so
close to my goal. Now, folks.
Oh, wait, I'm putting
When I
this
get to that
time
goal,
in there.
when I get to that goal, I will not just quit and go, oh, look, I got to my goal, 365 hours. I can just, that was just a reason to give me to make sure that I would do a fair amount of aerobics this year, you know, while I'm doing lifting and everything else. And so, yeah, I'm coming up on that goal. I also want to say this, Anna, do you know about what I did last weekend? Do you know that challenge I did?
No.
Oh, well, last Friday, so a week ago, I was doing some work. Oh, actually, I was on the floor stretching, and I turned on the Adam Carolla show.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about this guy, Colin O'Brady, who's going to also be on this show very soon.
Great.
Colin, and I remember when Colin was doing this in 2018, he wanted to be the first person to walk across Antarctica, and you know, like 900 miles or whatever. And no one had ever walked end to end. And he wanted to do that. He and another guy took off at the same time. They didn't know each other. The other guy was from England. And so they took off at the same time. He was the first person to do it. The other guy finished about 2 days later. Took him 55 days. And I'm listening to the Carolla show, and Carolla's asking him what he ate the whole time. And he talked about the scientific food that was put together in a lab that would make it the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically what the food was. And we're going to learn more about it when he does my podcast. It was
Great.
basically ultra fat, you know, because it was
how funny.
oil and nuts, and it, you know, they made them into bars, you know, because that stuff would stay frozen out there, and there was electrolytes in it, vitamins and whatever else. I'm sure it didn't taste very good, but they did with, you know, all he cared about was getting sustenance while he was out there. So that's the whole deal. Anna's out there with her camera now, so you know these pictures are going to end up somewhere. At any rate,
this looks so pretty. Oh, that's so pretty.
Look at
I
her.
got the macro lens on there. Hold on. Oh, that's really pretty.
So at any rate, this guy started doing this challenge. I guess he wrote a book called The 12-Hour Challenge, where you just walk out your front door and you just walk for 12 hours. You make up your own rules. Oh no, now she's got a ladder out. Folks, you got to go watch this on the YouTube. Look at that.
You guys, this is the process.
This is how she does it. This is how we do it.
You just walk for 12 hours straight?
Well, Adam says this on his show, and he goes, you know what? I challenge everyone. He goes, I'm going to try to do it at some point. I got to do it. I said, you know what? I'm always in some kind of shape. I'm always ready to be able to go with Kadi Ka to walk up something.
Right.
Keep myself in that kind of shape. I said, I'm going to walk out tomorrow, and here are my rules. No electronics whatsoever.
Okay.
Right? No cell phone, no iPod, no ear, nothing in my ears, no nothing. The only thing I would wear is my watch. And that's the only reason I know about how far I went, because I walked north of 75,000 steps.
Wow.
Means I walked, you know, more than 35 miles, according to any measurement that you would look up.
Did somebody pick you up?
No, I just walked out of my front door just before 6 a.m. in the morning. And my other rule was not to sit down the whole day. So there was no sitting. So I just walked out of the front door and started walking. I learned the whole town of Charlottesville. I learned the whole campus of UVA. You know, I just, you know, things, you know, I moved here during the pandemic and just kind of walked around the area where I live.
Right.
And, you know, the local town very near me, and just walked for probably 35 to 37 miles.
That's great.
Came back that evening, probably at 6:20. So it wasn't like I got back to my house right at 12 hours. It was probably closer to 13. And well, it was because I timed it on the watch. And I'm
going to show you this before I cover it.
It was look at that. Very
nice.
I
threw a little thyme sprig in there to get a little essence. And that'll get cooked down, obviously, and I'll throw that out before I serve it.
Yeah, do people realize that after you put the thyme sprig in there, you got to take it out?
Yeah, you got to take it.
Breaks down.
Got to take it out.
Yeah, don't eat that, folks. It'll mess up your intestines. But I got a big takeaway from that, Anna, from doing that walk. I have now done a thing where I will I will take a 24-hour period every week, probably between Friday night and Saturday night, which means that the next time I'll use any electronics is Sunday, right? Other than watching television with Serena, because, she likes to watch television. I'm not going to, there will be no cell phone. There will be no computer. There will be none of it. I'm going back to how we lived pre being on the computer all the time.
Right.
I can't tell you how freeing that felt.
That's awesome.
Just to spend the whole day walking around, no nothing. No nothing.
It'll all be waiting for you when you get back.
Yeah. And that was one of the, I had a bunch of takeaways, but that was the main takeaway, that anyone can be away from the electronics, from the phone, the computer, the whole thing for at least 24 hours. And if that works, I might start doing it twice a week or a 48-hour period all at once, one of the two. Because, look, I mean, just to give you an example of today, unless people think, oh, these podcasters talk for an hour and I've done 3 podcasts a day, including this one.
Yeah.
I've also done 6 videos because I'm starting to do them again for Pure Vitamin Club, Pure Coffee Club, and NSNG Foods. I won't start putting those out until next week, but I did one for each of those companies, and I had to do 3 of my own that goes up on my Instagram. I did 6 videos today, not to mention phone calls. I had phone calls. And I had other business. And, when you add all that up, you're constantly on the phone or using the phone to do videos. I don't play video games. I've never played a video.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing. But when you're with that phone all the time and that becomes your business and you're doing everything on that phone or looking into this computer or whatever, there's got to be a moment when I walk away from it. Right. Serena used to laugh. She still laughs about this because I started saying about 2 years ago, I'm pointing right here because 5 to 7 or 8 tents or 10 tents, whatever I have, they're all in here. Different size tents, pup tents, 2-man tents, 4-man tents, 6, 8-man tents. I have all of this camping gear. And I've been telling Serena, I want to take one of my little 2-man tents.
Yeah.
Just walk out into the backyard, set it up, build a fire in front of it. And she laughs about that. She goes, you want to camp like a kid in the backyard? I was like, yes, I do. She goes, what happens when you want to go to the bathroom? I was like, well, I'll just pee outside.
Right.
What if you have to take a dump? It's like, I'll come inside. She goes, well, doesn't that defeat the purpose? No, I don't want to dig up my backyard to take a shit. Sorry. You see, it sounds funny, but it's not that I don't want to be in the house. I want to be away from the house. I can simply walk inside, go to the bathroom, and then be outside. And she goes, what, you would just sit in your tent all day? No, when I want to sleep at night, I'll get in the tent. Right.
Right.
I could go walk around the neighborhood. I had this thought of this 12-hour thing before the 12-hour thing. If I want to go walk into town, I could do that. I could do whatever I want. Right. If I want coffee, I'm not going to walk into town and buy coffee. I'll have my little stove and, I have my little camp stove. Just brew up some coffee. Just not have modern conveniences around me because
you need a break from all the input.
I do.
Which I think we all need a break from all the input because there are some days where it just feels like getting shredded, you just get shredded with all the input. It's like there's only so much you can process. I think that's why I know that I'm this way. You're probably this way too. For the most part, my clothing is pretty automated, like because they say it's one less decision to make. Like just have your regular things that you wear.
Right.
It's like I got to save my creativity for writing recipes, for writing things, for filming videos. Like, it becomes a lot. And I know we have to go in 15. Do you want to go over some Thanksgiving stuff, or you want to save it?
I want to do a whole Thanksgiving episode.
Okay.
I'd rather keep talking about this.
Okay.
Look, I get it. You're looking at the room I sit in all day long. I'm either in here or whenever I do the consult, I go take a walk. I do that. That's my day. right?
Right.
Either I'm recording something or I'm answering questions. I try to answer as many sensible Twitter questions as I can every day. I do the Instagram. That seems to be building in leaps and bounds for me right
That's
now. So
good.
people are liking the videos. I feel like I get to teach, even though it's a little short lesson. That's what I do. But look, it's 8:30. It's almost 8:30 in the evening. I'm still here working. And by the time I upload these podcasts, it takes a while. The other one was an hour and 15 minutes. This one will be close to an hour long. It takes a long time to upload those things to get to, do all of it, get it prepared, send it off to Lois and Bill. It becomes a whole thing. I won't leave this room until 10 o'clock. Right? Why shouldn't I every now and then, and Serena goes, well, why don't you call Coddington and go camping on the Appalachian Trail? Because number one, I have to call Coddington and get him down here. And wait, what's that? What? So I would have to get Coddington here, and we would have to go, camp up on the Appalachian Trail. That's, I got to go over there. I have to do something. And then when you're up there, then what are you doing? Right? Are we going to go walking all day, hiking? Yeah, I guess we could do that. It's beautiful. Or once a month, I can either do this 12-hour thing or put the tent in my backyard and do that for 2 days, maybe start on, Friday afternoon and go through Sunday,
I feel like you're trying to justify it to me, and you don't have to justify it to anybody. I'm not trying to justify it. You can just go do it.
I just realized that after doing what I did this past weekend, I was right about my idea of just going in the backyard and unplugging, just plugging, right? And not have the earbuds, not have the phone with me. If I want coffee, make it with my camp stove. If I want to walk around town like a homeless person and just look at people, do that. Right? I can do all
of it.
Right. So that's where I am with that. I know this makes me sound crazy. Maybe it does.
No, it doesn't. That's why I say you're trying to justify it, and you don't have to justify it. I think that that's actually a normal thing for a human to get out in nature as much as possible, because that's honestly, the computers aren't going to save us. It's nature's going to save us, like reconnecting with that. It's a whole like circadian rhythm stuff too. It's like we've gotten so far away from that with the phone in our faces all the time. And what are you doing?
Don't worry about it. I'm not doing anything.
I know you're finding a song. Okay, I'm going to tell folks we will talk about an entire Thanksgiving episode, but because the questions are coming in, I'll send Leona the link to the Thanksgiving roundup with all the NSNG recipes. I leave those up on my site year round because I want everybody to have access to those, because I know especially we have all the Robies are going to be for the first time having their holidays. Yeah. And they're going to want some suggestions. So I'll put that link for her to put in the show notes, and then we'll go over those recipes and talk about different substitutions. You don't have to make those recipes, but they can give you ideas and give you, if you're used to doing a traditional Thanksgiving, I got you covered. But you're going to want to start to look at it and plan. And then we'll talk about, Vinnie and I will talk about how we do different stuff. How do we do a sugar and grain-free Thanksgiving? It's possible. It can be done.
Yeah. And look, I want to add one other thing, Anna. Nothing but support for the, I felt like all we did was yelled and screamed last Monday about this one.
That's fine. We don't, we swore to never speak of it again. We said our piece.
I'm not apologizing for it, but I just saw the outpouring of people on social media, and the number of people who said, you know what, I've already had the PDF. I got another one. And you know who you are, Sarah Marcosian and everybody else. Yeah. Tons of people. I think even Lois bought one just to go, you know what?
I bought one.
Yeah. And, everyone who had them said, I'm just going to pay for it. And I feel like I should pay for it. No one had to do that. And basically when it came right down to it, we were talking about one woman, and, you know what? Maybe
there were a few people, but who cares? Move on.
You know what?
If they don't like it, they can move on. You and I have to talk about what we need to talk about on this podcast that's important to us.
Yeah. So there you have it. Anna, I won't drag this one out. You want to say anything else about what's in that pot before we go?
I'm going to let it simmer and then check on it. I have a 5:30 and then I'll check on it after that. And then I have a 7 p.m. and hopefully it'll be done by then. And, we're starting a little late in the day to make something. I would generally start it a little bit earlier, but that's fine. It'll get done.
Folks, I'm looking around. There's not a whole lot of cleanup with this. It's a one pot dish. Probably she's got a knife over there. She's got to wash down, and maybe that wooden pellet that she's got to wash down.
Cutting board.
There's no cleanup on this, and boom.
Hey, did I tell you we got into all 29 pavilions?
You did not.
This past Saturday, we are on the shelves.
Congratulations.
Officially in pavilions. So if you are anywhere in SoCal, we got the applause. I can't hear it come through. I heard it just for a snap. If you're in SoCal, please go to pavilions. It's a better price at pavilions than it is on my website. So
yeah.
Thanks.
Boom. Anna,
make a Stewtanesca.
Make a Stewtanesca.
Or if you hate me, buy Rayo's. Just make sure there's no sugar in it.
Yeah.
If you hate me, buy the Rayo's and you can still get the recipe.
Don't even mention Rayo. Come on.
I don't care.
Folks, I don't care. Happy Halloween if that's something you do. So I don't know why.
We're gonna watch Halloween Ends tonight. We don't have any kids trick or treat in this neighborhood, so we don't need to buy candy, much to Lauren Tarquinio's chagrin. But I made him pumpkin bars the other day, so he's happy. So we're gonna watch Halloween Ends, which is supposedly the last Michael Myers movie. Supposedly the last one. We'll see about that.
I don't watch scary movies because I
love scary movies. I don't love them. Oh, and speaking of the murders, Killer Couples, the murder that I narrate for the past 6 of their 15 seasons, just got picked up for season 17. Actually, I've been doing it now for 7 seasons. So this is 8th season, season 17. It's going to have 20 new murders, and I will tell you all about the murders. Killer Couples.
You know what? I used to say I wanted to have Seinfeld money, but I want to have Anna Vocino money. Yeah.
The murders don't pay as much as you think they would, but they're very fun to narrate, except for I have to take a Silkwood shower when I'm done. I'm like, oh, these people are nuts.
We can't get enough of the murder porn. That's
Everybody loves the murders.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm shocked to hear that you're watching the murders. That doesn't seem like a very Vinny thing. When did this transition take place?
A few years ago. We watch, she puts up with the stuff I like to watch. I watch football by myself.
Oh.
Again, it's that thing of, oh, look at that.
There's Izzy, poor little blind Izzy.
Look at you.
She's still hanging in there.
You look like crap.
She's like, I know, I feel like crap.
I can smell your breath from here.
She's got one rotten tooth with just grossness on it. All right, we're going to send you on your way, little old one.
Okay, folks, if you like what's going on here, Anna Vocino, she has all the stuff. Go get her stuff. She has Eat Happy Kitchen. I was talking about the powders earlier in this show. Go get the powder. If you do nothing else with this show, go get Anna Vocino's Eat Happy Kitchen powders, and you're welcome. That's all I'm going to say.
They're pretty darn good.
If you really want to take it to the next level, get the gravies, all the gravies. She calls them sauces. So go get that. And look, people tell me all the time, I cook right out of Anna Vocino's book. She's got Eat Happy and Eat Happy 2, TOO. You can get those on Amazon. So go there and check that out. Go do everything Eat Happy. You know what to do with me. We'll all go shopping on Amazon. Before you go to Amazon, please go to VinnieTortorich.com. Click through the banner. It puts a little coal on the fire and it gets my train down the track. We also have the Superfan page. You can check that out. And we have the PDF, the one where a nickel and dime, everyone. So
you're supposed to call it the ebook. It's an ebook.
It's an ebook.
Debbie has given specific instructions for it to be called the ebook.
So go get my ebook.
The intro to NSNG ebook.
The intro to NSNG. Keep remembering that, Anna, because I've been calling.
I will. I'll keep reminding you.
The intro to NSNG ebook. There you go, Debbie. And so let me cut this off right here.